Here I am waiting for the streetcar in New Orleans to go to the National Veterans Small Business Engagement, where small businesses, veterans, big primes, and everybody's going to meet and try to get business and do business with the government.
Sarah McCumsey.
What company are you with?
Coactant.
Okay.
It's a STBO-SB. My husband and I own it. We are located here in New Orleans, and it's our first year attending this conference.
And so, what did you just tell me about coming to these conferences? What was the first thing you did?
Okay, the first thing, and I'm 30, so that might put it in perspective. The first thing that I did to prepare for this conference was to go online and see if anybody had like a blog or any information, like a YouTube video or whatever, about how to prepare and what to expect. So I didn't find one. So I'm glad that you're making one.
Awesome. Thank you. And what do you guys do?
So we are a general contractor. We've been in business. We've had our LLC since 2008, but have been really doing business for the past year. And most of our contracts have been low voltage contracts with the VA here in New Orleans. So we do a lot of maintenance, low voltage contracts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm putting together sort of a video essay of what the experience of coming to this is. And if either one of you want to...
I'll come every year.
You come to these every year?
Every year.
And you get business out of it?
I pick up about 2 or 3 contracts every year. Norvec is an integration company. We do a little bit of everything, but because we target the federal government space, we had to be integrators because they come up with a lot of unique things. What you'll discover when you come to these meetings, a lot of the business is targeted towards large. Mm-hmm. So that puts you as an integrator, and you end up doing a lot of different things, a lot of widgets. Because
do you partner with people, or?
I have partnered with a lot of people.
Okay.
I have partners for like carpentry. I partner with a company called Bonet. I think it's Bonet. They're out of Toronto, Canada. They do fabulous work. We had a requirement from the VA. They needed some design work. I mean, I go everywhere. You know,
and you a service disabled veteran-owned business?
Service disabled.
This is your first time, right?
It is.
Okay. And what are you hoping to do here?
Find some business.
Find some business. All right. And you are with Solution Stream, and it's out of Utah, and you're a
Small business. We have about 100 senior level developers on staff, and we build software. Been doing it for 23 years. We're new to the federal space.
Yeah, my name is Pat Burns Sr. I'm a ex-Marine, not ex-Marine, nobody's an ex-Marine, I'm a Marine. 63 years ago I own a company, 47 years old, we do high-tech controls. We're in Dallas, Texas, and we have a division called Shamrock. We're all over the nation. This is the first meeting I've come. We're veteran registered and certified because of my service time. We do some work with the government and all that. We're trying to find more outs with the government and contracts we can do. So it's exciting to be here, and I have already picked up a couple of leads, and I think it'll help our company.
Make sure that you staple your business card to your capability statement. The reason being is because when you don't, if you give someone your business card and then you give them your capability statement, they have a tendency to never ever marry up again.
stapler.
Really
Number one most important thing.
I'm serious. So when you staple your business card to your capability statement, the other thing that it does is it allows for whoever is the person that is gathering up all these capability statements, you'll find that when they shoot them all together like this, yours will stand out because your business card makes it stick.
Okay.
And because it sticks up, it puts you on the top.
It's that simple.
So, recognize that the fiscal year and the program year are 2 different things. So fiscal year month goes from September the 30th, October 1 until September 30th.
Right.
But program year end month goes from July 1 until June the 30th.
Okay.
Okay? So everyone is always concerned about fiscal year end closeout. They kind of forget about program year end closeout sometimes. All right? But the bottom line is this. When the fiscal year ends, you're waiting for the next appropriation to be approved. Now, usually they don't approve it on October 1. Usually you're under what's called a continuing
Right,
resolution
right.
that allows the government to stay afloat until they approve the budget, right? Most times they do the continuing resolution up until December. Around January is when they'll sign the budget, and then we move forward. Well, sometimes they don't sign it in January, like in 2018. He didn't sign it until June. And then even when they signed it, they only gave us 30 days of money, so we still couldn't do what we were planning on doing before the end of the fiscal year.
Okay.
Okay? What you're trying to do is you're trying to find the sweet spot, so to speak. When they are still in the continuing resolution, what you want to do is you want to find out about the RFIs. RFIs are requests for information. Those are the requirements that we're trying to determine if we can set them aside for small business, right? You also want to find out about the requirements that you see did not get awarded this year. They either extended them for another 6 months so they could do a recompete later, or they canceled them, but you're not sure. Because again, they're on the forecast.
Right.
So that's why you're contacting them to follow through.
And you find the forecast
On FBO.
on FBO
Or
for
you find
every.
it on the agency's website. So like for DOL, we have what we call the Small Business Power page. We literally have a link that takes you directly to the forecast.
Okay.
But if you were on FedBizOpps and you looked at DOL, you would be able to find our forecast there as well. Okay?
So first thing, find the forecast.
Find the forecast.
Look at your NAICS codes.
You sort by NAICS code.
Figure out what's coming up, and then you can
Right.
find who the key people are.
Exactly. So you would walk up to the Department of Energy table and you would say, I found these items on the forecast and I'm trying to make sure who it is that I'm supposed to be speaking to about them because there's no email addresses. Can you help me? And then she'll say, I don't know. And you said, can I have your email address? That way I can follow up with you and then you can find out and you can follow that information.
Because that's why they're here.
Exactly. Because sometimes what happens is that agency will send a representative to represent
Right.
the department who doesn't necessarily know. Now, if DOL has 21 agencies that fall underneath it, am I really expected to know everything about all 20 of those agencies?
No.
There's no way that I could pull it off. But what I do know is how to find out who, what, when, and why. So I can tell you who the small business specialist is. I can tell you who the cores are. I can tell you who some of the project managers are. I can tell you who some of the agency heads are. And if I don't know, I know who to go to find out so that I can share that information. What you all have to do is you have to push me to find out that info. Oh, me
And once you
account-
have that info on a contract and the person who's going to be the contracting officer, what should the conversation be like?
I never
I mean-
recommend people to talk to the contracting officer or to the contracting specialist. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Contracting officers and contracting specialists get requirements from programs. The program is the person who has the budget. And they're also the ones who have the requirement. They're the ones who do the market research. They're the ones who prepare the
So
package.
talk to the
that
program
goes
manager.
To the contracting officer. So you're looking for the small business specialist.
Right.
You're looking for the contracting officer representative. You're looking for the project manager. These are the people who are involved from the ground up, from the cradle to the grave. They're the ones who are going to locate the market research. They're going to prepare the packages. They're going to submit them so that they can be routed through the chain to be appropriately approved. They're going to get that information to the procurement office. Once it's at the procurement office, the decision has already been made. What the contracting officer and the contracting specialists are doing is confirming that market research, that all of that data that was provided is accurate, is complete, and is within the regulations.
Okay.
They're not
That's it.
doing it themselves.
Right.
So we have to get you guys in on the front end. We got to get you with the program people, not the program manager, but the project manager. We got to get you with the contracting officer representative, because that's the person who's monitoring and maintaining the contracting vehicle. They're tracking it, they're monitoring, they know when it's going to be recompeted. They're checking the PWS. They're making sure that the information is updated.
What's PWS?
Performance work statements.
Okay.
As well as statements of work.
Okay.
As well as what they call SOOs, which are statements of objective.
Okay.
These are
There's a lot of abbreviations, and you
Yes.
had that great abbreviation page that
There's
really
a
was
lot of-
helpful. Right.
Yes, we share them.
Yes.
We share them again so that you guys, it's important for you to know what it is that we're talking about.
Right.
It's not enough for us just to talk to you. We have to talk to you with a clarity that allows for you to understand so that you can move forward. If you're not able to move forward, we just wasted your time and your money.
Exactly. And that's why I came back to you, because you are organized and you're very clear. Now,
I
can you,
tried.
a lot of small businesses don't have a GSA schedule yet, and they're trying to enter into this, and there's the past performance question and everything else.
Got you.
Can you talk about, cart and the horse and GSA schedule versus non-GSA schedule for small businesses and getting into the contracting process?
Okay, so.
Because do we even have a chance when they can just go to the GSA schedule people?
You always have a chance, and the reason why you always have a chance is because of three things. Number one, every federal agency has to set aside for small business because they get assigned a percentage that they have to do by SBA.
Okay.
So DOL has a 3% HUD zone goal for every year. We have a 5% woman-owned goal. We have a 3% service-disabled veteran-owned goal. We have a 35% small business goal. We have a 23% small disadvantaged business goal. These are the goals that we have to meet every year. So even if you don't have a GSA schedule, you have a chance because we still have to meet those goals.
Okay.
If you do have a GSA schedule, the order of precedence in FAR Part 8 tells us that we want to check GSA first. So that's how it is that people go into GSA, and you get included in that. And not to mention, every large business that we award to, they have to do a subcontracting plan. Those subcontracting plans are broken up into the same percentages that we're required to do so that we can get better. So, you always have a chance. Always. It's just a matter of marketing yourself appropriately. Subject lines are key. Because everybody who reads their emails, the first thing that they see is the subject line.
Right.
And your subject line needs to tell a story, and the story needs to do one of three things. It needs to either make me want to save your email because I'm going to use it later, make me want to share your email because I know somebody else who needs that kind of service or that kind of supply, whatever it is, that commodity, or it's going to make me open your email up and read it.
Yeah, we all need that. Yes.
Subject line, key to that. So if, again, you are defining your subject line in a way that it stands out, that's why it's important for you to tell us what socioeconomic set-aside are you going to help us meet the goal on.
Okay.
What is your core competency? And more importantly, where did I meet you? How did you get my email address? Did I have a discussion with you about something? And what is it exactly that you're looking for? These are the things that should be inside the subject line that will cause me to either share you with OPA because you're talking to me about audiovisual, or share with Job Corps because you're talking to me about construction, or it'll have me open it up because I need to know what else did I talk to you about and what information did I put in there that's going to trigger that conversation so that I can follow up and follow through, or for me to save your information inside my electronic file for whatever market research that I might be doing for a requirement that's going to be set aside for small business. That's how you want to do your subject lines. Same thing, you always attach your capability statement.
Always?
You send it
Over and over?
Over and over.
Okay.
You don't want to make the person who is reading your email have to go back to another email so that they can open up your capability
Is a link
statement.
okay to have
Links
in
are
your
great.
signature file?
Yes.
Okay.
Links are great because, again, everything right there consolidated, streamlined in one email.
Okay.
Now, important thing too, you always send your email to more than one person at the same time. Send it to at least 3 people. 3 people in 3 different offices, they're going to do one of 3 things. They're either going to save it, share it, open it. Period.
Or not read it.
Now,
you screw up.
They're not going to. They're going to read yours because you already tailored your subject line. Remember?
Right.
But recognize this too. If you send it to 3 people, like if you sent it to me today, well, this week I'm in New Orleans, so I can't open up my email.
Right.
If you send it to 3 people, then that means there are 2 other people who can respond to the email. It's rare that all 3 of us are gone for a whole week at the same time. Then you want to look at it from this perspective too. If you send it to me, I didn't get it. If you send it to me and somebody else, I thought he was going to take care of it. He thought I was going to take care of it. But if you send it to 3 people, we're either going to call each other and say, who's going to respond to this email? Or we're all 3 of us going to respond to the email because all 3 of us got information, or all 3 of us are going to share the information with somebody else so that they can respond to the email. So when you have 3 people, the trend, the group, it always works.
So do people get business out of coming to things like this?
Yes, they do. But they don't get it here. They get it on the follow-up and the follow-through of the email traffic.
Okay.
Trust me.
All right. I trust you. And honestly, you tell me about your boot camp, just briefly, what you do.
Boot camp is great. I usually have 15 to 25 members, and what we do is we pull them together for 2 hours and a half, and I literally straight talk to them. I straight talk to them in a way that they understand, and that gives them an opportunity also to team up and make meaningful relationships where they can team up to do requirements, to respond to solicitations, especially now that we're going to the Best in Class series and everything is being consolidated and everything is modernization. A lot of our PWSs and our statements of work are written in a way where you have to have multiple things in your company that every company may not have if they specialize in one thing. So these allow for teaming arrangements so that they can do whatever it is that's being required. They can respond to it accordingly. The boot camps are great and everybody has a really, really good time. It gives them an opportunity again to be all together and to get the information and understand how to apply it. The information is out there and it's free. But most people don't know how to maneuver through all of these websites, all of these URLs, all of these events. It gives them an opportunity to find that out. And it lets them know, look, what you're doing, everybody is doing it. So why isn't it working? And that's what I tell everybody too. Everything I say isn't 100%, but it's been working for me, and anybody it is that can prove me wrong, then I'll tweak it.
All right.
The last thing that I want to tell you that's really important is when you're sending your email traffic, make sure that you keep your threads. We send an email, I send an email today, and then I send an email a week from now, and then I send an email another week from there. But they're all brand new emails. What you do is you send the email today, you wait 5 calendar days, then you forward the same email that you sent, and you send it again. You wait 3 working days, you forward the same email again, and then you wait 2 days, and now you contact your small business advisor. When you contact your small business advisor, you forward her the whole thread. I guarantee you, you just gave her the necessary support documentation to back her up when she goes to that agency and says, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you guys responding to the vendors? They've been contacting you now for over 2 weeks. But you have to give your small business advisor the tools to be able to fight for you. You can't say, well, I've been calling and calling and calling. You know, you can't track a phone call.
That is true.
And you can't say, well, I sent an email, but you don't show her any of the emails that you sent. When you want people to advocate for you, it's the difference between having in the Marine Corps. We used to go to the rifle range, and we used to shoot blank rounds. And they would have a little teeny weeny hole that would impact the target. But when we would shoot bigger rounds, say from a shotgun, where we just chucked it on our hip and just pointed it in the vicinity, it sprayed everything. That's the difference between you sending a small business advisor an email saying, I've been calling and calling. It's like the little teeny weeny impact. But when you showed them that email thread that's gone over the space of 2-3 weeks, that had 3 people on the email and nobody responded, you just gave your small business advisor a shotgun. It's on like popcorn.
All right.
Okay.
Linda, you're amazing. We're taking some time up from some other people. I want to get. This is the bomb. Of all the people, she explains everything so clearly, so organized, so concise. I came back. I'm making a video so I can have this out for everybody who's coming next year, so they come in there prepared and they know what they're doing. That's right.
Don't worry. There's a method to the madness. There is. I'm crazy as a day is long.
So I'm heading back from day 2 of the National Veteran Small Business Engagement. Got some really good information sessions today. Learned all about teaming and also how to figure out what contracts are going to be coming due and what to do with them. And it's been interesting. Met a really sharp lady from the Department of Labor yesterday who has the whole thing figured out, and I recorded her. I'm putting together a video so that when you decide to go to the National Veteran Small Business Engagement, you are prepared to get the job done. Anyways, been a long day and moving on. A couple thoughts about when you go there. Every single person that's there at that business engagement is there looking to work with other people to get work from the federal government, because the federal government is the biggest purchaser of goods and services in this country. And everybody thinks there's an opportunity there. So find the people that are motivated, that have done it before, ask for their help, ask the team, ask to work together, and it'll go a long way. It's like networking on steroids. That's the best way to describe it. And the key really is follow-up. As one that told me, follow up with those emails and always send them to 3 different people in the organization to make sure one of them responds. And we'll have bits and pieces of that so you know what's going on. So, we'll try and check in with more tomorrow.
So in preparing to come to the conference, I was really excited to learn who all was here and start building relationships and finding partners, people who can support me in what I do, as well as partner for future work. There's a lot of great information and education around the opportunities in the government that are coming up. There's a lot of great information around how to do better marketing, better business development, better proposals, and just technical sessions on keeping current in your industry. So I think the most important thing to do in getting ready to come here is really sit down and look over the sessions, sit down and look over the list of who's going to be attending, and understand who do you want to make contact with. There's so many different people here, so many different groups here, so many different organizations that you can learn from. Have a targeted list, understand who you want to talk to, and make sure you seek those people out and spend some time with them.
Awesome. Thank you so much.